So much going on right now on the Mesa. J.D. Wicker, San Diego State's athletic director, joining us right here on Xtra 1360. J.D., I want to start with men's basketball. I mean, you've had so much success, obviously, these last 2 years, 53-7. But last year we had that abrupt ending due to the pandemic. So what was the conversation like with Brian Dutcher after the Syracuse game in regards to wanting to keep him on the Aztec sideline moving forward?
Well, good afternoon, gentlemen. Appreciate the opportunity to be with you. And, the conversation started before we went to, Indianapolis, and just, the opportunity to let him know how important, what he and Coach Fisher have built this, here at San Diego State with the basketball program, and how much we, wanted to ensure that we're going to be able to continue that program and how great it's been, and what are the things that we need to do to make sure that we're supporting them appropriately.
What was your level of confidence, though, as you guys left for Indianapolis and you're gearing up for the tournament, that Brian Dutcher would be your coach for the future?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's always, some doubt when there's that opportunity, but, I also know that this is a program that Coach Fisher and Coach Dutcher have built for, 22-plus years. And that's a lot to think about. That, you want to make sure that you're, something that you've taken the time to build, that, you continue doing so. And, also, we're a great opportunity to, win a conference championship, to compete in the NCAA tournament. It's San Diego. So, I felt pretty good about what we had to offer. And, again, there's always a little bit of doubt, but, I felt pretty good.
J.D., is it your hope that Dutcher retires as an Aztec like Steve Fisher was able to do?
Absolutely. That's what I told him, when we first started talking contract, when he first transitioned, and we continue to do so. It's, it's kind of like with Rocky and probably with Brady as well. You've got a contract at San Diego State as long as you want to coach.
How were the digs in Indianapolis? What was your take on the whole circumstance, the protocols, everything that the team had to go through, that members of the staff had to go through? How was it out there for the tournament?
Well, I ended up being outside of the bubble since we were able to have fans and things like that. I ended up traveling separate from the team. But, I think it went well. I mean, the kids were well taken care of, nice hotels, plenty of food. The option to get out and move around some, and I know the NCAA is doing even more of that this week with, half the field no longer in town. So, kids want to compete. I mean, that's why they're doing what they've done. And I mean, our men in both basketball and football did a phenomenal job this year. As you look back at all the testing and the fact that, we never missed a game because it was our fault. So I think the NCAA did a really good job with everything in Indianapolis, and hopefully everything continues to move smoothly.
JD, is it your understanding that this is going to be a one-off year with the one-site tournament and we'll go back to the regional sites? Because I believe Viejas Arena is scheduled to host NCAA tournament games next year, right?
Yeah, we're supposed to host next March, and yes, this is absolutely a one-year deal, and we'll go back to the, assuming everything continues moving smoothly with vaccine rollout and those types of things. This will be a one-hit wonder, and we will be more than happy to go back to the traditional running of March Madness.
Yeah, can't wait for that. Want to move on and pivot to this because there's certainly a significant story happening here in San Diego alongside the athletic program at San Diego State, and that's the fact that San Diego Stadium, the final standing piece, has been demolished. And so along with some emotion, there's great optimism of the future at Mission Valley and what that site will look like here in the coming years. What did that moment signify to you and the university?
I mean, obviously, we're really excited. I'm actually standing on the concourse level of the new stadium right now. We're out doing a tour. It's so exciting to see this new building coming up and out of the ground, and all that it's going to mean, not only for San Diego State, but for the community. I mean, it's not just Aztec football, soccer, and lacrosse. It's, international soccer, domestic soccer, it's concerts, it's all the other things that you can do. The river park that's going to be built. It's great for the entire community, and we're really excited about the progress that we're making on the current stadium. We are really on schedule, and you're really going to be able to see a stadium here in the next couple of months. You'll be able to look at the site and say, okay, that is definitely a stadium coming out of the ground.
JD, what are some stadium-related announcements maybe you have on the horizon, like naming rights deals or events other than Aztecs football games? Are we still too far in front of that, or are we getting closer to some of those upcoming announcements over the next handful of months?
We are definitely getting closer to some of those announcements. We've had a lot of folks, reaching out about, different types of events that they'd like to bring to the stadium. I think, one, COVID is, impacting when those decisions get made as people feel comfortable about when things are going to happen. And, we kind of want to get into the steel erection piece of the construction and make sure that's going smoothly. And then that starts to really give us some comfort that everything's going to happen appropriately. So, naming rights and funding partner discussions continue to go well. Our sales of our premium is really going well. So a lot of positive conversations out there.
Any changes made to the plan since the pandemic struck? I mean, it is an outdoor venue after all and mostly open air, so it is well suited for what we're faced with as a society right now. But did anything have to change as far as the architecture of the building that's being erected?
The great thing for us, the stadium is on a site that's larger than what you might anticipate for a 35,000 capacity stadium. So we've got a lot of open space that would allow us to spread people out. Obviously, the seating bowl is, one thing, but, all the concourse area and all of that is really a lot more space than what you might be, accustomed to. So we're kind of set. We did reconfigure how some restrooms you'd enter and exit and, a little more space, a little better flow. But other than that, the design kind of had already taken a lot of that into account.
JD Wicker joining us right now on Xtra 1360. JD, you can take this wherever you want. It's kind of a general question, but what do you see the impact of the new stadium on San Diego State athletics over the next 10 years?
One, I think it's going to help us with, brand recognition. This is going to help, people are going to take notice. San Diego State went out, and built a $310 million stadium, and all the things that we're bringing to it. Obviously, there's going to be some revenue associated with that that's going to help our entire department get better. And then it's the opportunity to bring more people outside of the San Diego State community to our campus. So you're going to be, again, you think about all the different, events that we'll host, they're coming to San Diego State's campus. So we're really excited about being able to tell our story to people who might not be that familiar with San Diego State.
2022 kickoff of that season. Are we still a go? Are we on track? Is progress moving in the direction where we can still consider that the deadline, or has anything been moved, especially since this pandemic began?
No, we're still, construction's been moving along really well. September 3rd, 2022 is still when we plan to kick off this football stadium.
JD, if people want tickets, are we at that point yet? Are we at the point where you talked about premium and hospitality, but if they want tickets for the new stadium, is there a place they should turn right now?
They can go to the Aztec Stadium website and sign up on the insiders list. So there's a list where you can basically, if you're not a season ticket holder or a member of the Aztec Club, you can sign up there. Or if, buy season tickets for Aztec football, that automatically gets you into the queue for outreach from our ticket sales folks. Later in the year, probably sometime in the summer, getting into the fall, we'll start selling. We'll open up the general seating bowl. We'll still have premium that we're selling. But, yeah, either the Aztec Insiders list or go buy season tickets for Aztec football, which next year we've got a great schedule with Utah, Fresno State, and Boise State, all up at Dignity Health Sports Park. So we're excited about the schedule that we're going to have.
Well, the Aztecs were regular season champs. They were tournament champs in the Mountain West, and progress occurring at Mission Valley. As far as I'm concerned, things are on pace for a very bright 2021. And we're excited for all of that, and we appreciate your time as always, JD.
All right, guys, appreciate the time and appreciate everything y'all do for Aztec Athletics, and looking forward to having you guys in the brand new stadium when we kick off on September 3rd, 2022.
Man, we cannot wait for that.
Dude.
That brings a smile to our faces, JD. Thank you for doing it today.
All right, guys, appreciate it. Go Aztecs.